Just imagine if every time you disobeyed your parents, you turned into a wax figure, got eaten by your TV alive, or turned into spaghetti and placed on a dish ready to be eaten. Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids was created simply to petrify little kids into obeying their parents. Each episode began with a rebellious child who would later be punished for their rebelliousness in a twisted, sinister, or gruesome way. Hence the title. Now, even though this was the case, as a child, I literally missed all the moral lessons of the show. All I did was watch, observe, as little kids got obliterated and wondered, what the hell is happening here, like? If anything, I think this show paved the way for my horror obsession. But anyways, going back to what we said previously, I think I might have been touched in the head or something as a kid, because it took a bit of understanding to realise that the horror of the show actually had a reason, and it wasn't just to petrify the kids for no reason at all. It was moral lessons. Anyways, welcome back to Crack Attack. This is an entirely new thing we're doing here. I've never done one of these film essays, but here we go. Today we're looking at a show, a kids horror show by the way, that was hidden in the small selection of other kids horror shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps and The Haunting Hour. It's a British nightmarish show that aired from 2000 to 2006, and it even got a short reboot in CGI form from 2011 to 2012. And that reboot was on Nicktoons. But I never even knew what the hell Nicktoons was. I still don't even know what it is, to be honest. Back then, as a kid, all I needed was Kicks, Pop, and CITV. I remember I used to wake up every morning at like 8 AM, go straight to the TV, and pop on Pop or CITV. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that I have a cup of tea here with me? I don't know what it says, I just picked out a random one. Positively adorable. Wow, amazing. That is gone cold. I shouldn't be taking so long to set up that my tea gets cold, you know? It's awfully hard to hold both the microphone and the tea at the same time. But let's stop the nostalgic and rubbish talk. It's a bit of a hybrid of both, I have to say myself. And let's get into the show. I've chosen 2 random episodes because the show literally has 11 seasons and 106 episodes. But no need to worry, I've picked the 2 scariest ones I could find. The ones that likely traumatised me as a kid. Hopefully you'll learn some manners and listen to your parents, you disobedient little bastard. Each episode begins with an unsupervised ginger kid walking through an empty town, in the piss and rain by the way, to make his way to a cinema called the Squeam Screen. Now this kid looks like your typical Irish bloke from across the road. But the guy is walking through town like this. It's like he thinks he's brilliant or something. He thinks he's the shit. Anyways, who in the right mind is going to a cinema that looks like this?
What is that?
Not this ginger lad, because he's not in the right mind, is he? Surely he'd turn back when he sees the state of that bloody hand welcoming him in. Off he goes into this mouldy mess of a place covered in spiderwebs. He goes in, takes a seat, and he's literally the only one in the cinema. There must be a screw loose in this kid's head to be going to this cinema every single day. And he must have a lot of money as well, I'll tell you. After that, we're introduced to this old fella called Uncle Grizzly. He's got an unbelievably thick English accent, so I don't even know how I understood him as a kid, to be honest. But then again, I barely understood linguistic diversity as a kid anyways. The kid is given a different bug every day and he eats it. Sometimes it's a worm, sometimes I don't even know what it is, but it's a bug.
I call this tale Grandmother's Footsteps.
And there we have it. That's the name of the episode. Anyways, Uncle Grizzly then goes on to say that this isn't his story, he didn't write it.
It's not my story, so don't blame me when you're scared stiff.
Then who the hell made it? I thought Uncle Grizzly was the one who wrote the stories for all of these tales. He is, but for some reason this one episode, he didn't. It's so random. I suppose it just adds to the scary aspect of it, you know? The sheer fact that this twisted old man has borrowed a story from another individual makes the story even more eerie. I suppose that was a way to throw kids off.
This ghost story belongs to a little boy who couldn't go to sleep at night.
Wow, a boy couldn't go to sleep. I'm frozen stiff with fear, like. But the start of the story starts off in a very sleep paralysis inspired situation. An old man with long black fingernails knocking away at the window, you know, like that. Finally, the little kid speaks. "Grandma," he says.
Grandma!
"Grandma?
Grandma!
That's your granddad, buddy. Have you lost the plot? Just let this poor old man inside. He's your grandpa, isn't he?" Oh, never mind. There's the actual grandmother. Jeez, she's an athletic woman, I tell you. The speed of her. As we see here, the grandmother is the parent in this situation.
We listened to the tapping and she laughed some more.
Look at the way she's laughing here, like. She's the only part of this episode that scares me. The old man at the window has no effect on me whatsoever. But the grandmother tells the kid a story about another kid named Julian, who had a grandmother as well who took care of him. They lived next to a graveyard. She's basically just telling the same story as exactly what's happening here with this kid and this grandma that's speaking the story. Only difference is it's a different kid that she's talking about. The only difference here is that the kid hides under a blanket.
Julian was underneath the bedclothes in a flash.
And the window gets smashed.
As giant fingers smashed through the window.
Couldn't you just tell me a story from a fresh perspective, for fuck's sake? But anyways, as the story progresses, the grandmother keeps denying that there's gonna be a ghost in the story. And denying that it's a ghost at the window. It's their way of trying to make it more suspenseful.
That was when the knocking started. "It is the ghost. It is not," she said.
Anyways, in this story that the grandmother is telling, turns out there wasn't a ghost at all. And it was the wind knocking a branch onto the window. And the branch smashed the window.
It was Julian's imagination that created the ghost.
I mean, come on, Granny, if you're gonna tell a story about a ghost, at least include a ghost in the story, you silly bitch.
If Julian's ghost was not a real ghost after all, then you lied to me.
Right, so the kid already figured out that there wasn't a ghost. And here I am, thinking I cracked the bloody case. I really am slow.
And you definitely said that the ghost would appear at the end. And here I am. Removed her head.
Oh my god. Of course the granny was the ghost the whole time. What a plot twist, like. It's not a twist for me, because remember earlier on, the way she was laughing.
And she laughed some more.
I knew she was a creepy bitch the whole time. The episode ends with the granny walking through a wall with her head in her hand. But maybe I'm still touched in the head as an adult, as I was as a kid. Because I don't even know what the moral of this story was supposed to be, like. I suppose maybe they're trying to teach kids that there's not actually a ghost when they're trying to sleep, and that it's their imagination. But still, if I watched this episode as a kid, I don't think I'd learn any lessons. I think I'd just think that my mum would turn into a ghost and decapitate herself. That's literally what I gathered from this. Shall we get into the next story? In this one, the kid eats a worm when he enters the cinema. Now, I can't even remember what the kid in the last episode ate, to be honest. I can't even fucking remember. But anyways, it's a worm this time.
I call this tale Mr. Peeler's Butterflies.
Well, there you go. That's the name of this episode.
You'll all have heard the nursery rhyme, "Sleep, sleep, now close your eyes, don't fish for Mr. Peeler."
No, I don't believe I have heard that one now myself. The most I've heard going to bed was "Don't let the bedbugs bite." Now someone tell me what kind of sadistic parent is traumatizing their child by telling them that a demon called Mr. Peeler is going to steal their sleep away from them. The story begins with a kid who stayed up 2 hours past his bedtime. His dad tells him,
"Bed now."
And his mum tells him,
"Go to bed."
to no avail. The spoiled brat just won't go to bed. Finally, he's off to bed. But hold on a second. What the hell is that hairstyle? It looks like Homer Simpson grew a few extra strands of hair and they extended down the side of his head. He gets into bed.
Yup! Ready for beddy!
And look at his mother succumbing to his pestering.
Mummy! Toys! Quickly then, which ones?
I just give him a boot up the ass and there we go. Full stop. Situation sorted. Just as the boy finally goes to bed and the parents settle down on the couch, we hear this.
Oh, parents!
Now what kind of kid literally calls their parents parents?
I'm thirsty. I need a drink of water.
The kid is treating his mum and dad like slaves. But then again, all the kids in these episodes are like different breeds, you know? Now at this stage, apparently the kid is going to take a piss. Apparently he's taking a piss here.
And he skipped into the bathroom.
But what in heaven's name is that? It's everything except pissing. It looks like he's twerking or teabagging or something. I don't know what the hell he's at, but I do know one thing, he needs help. I now do not give a rat's ass what happens to the kid in this episode. I couldn't really care less if he got eaten by a monster after seeing him twerking in the bathroom.
Oh, yes.
First he starts twerking and now he's moaning.
If you don't go to sleep now, Mr. Peeler will pay you a visit.
Oh yeah, things are getting exciting. Anyways, the kid calls out for his dad, and this is the dad's response.
What is it now? Good night.
The kid seems bulletproof. Like he seems unfazed by everything. If my dad started shouting at me like that, I'd burst out in tears, guaranteed instantly. This kid is just built different, in a bad way. The kid finally goes to sleep, and apparently it's at 4 AM that he goes to sleep. And he wakes up and he's greeted by a can of sardines on his bedsheets. For some odd reason, I don't know. And then there's a butterfly up on the roof.
There was the butterfly.
And bloody hell, it looks like he's having a seizure here.
A small, fat man had appeared at the end of Alexander's bed.
Right, so this is Mr. Peeler. He looks like, you know that bird woman from Home Alone? He looks like her, but at the same time, he seems like just a terrible comedian. I can't say much myself because I'm not doing a great job here. I'm not a good comedian myself. Honestly, this is one of those episodes that I doubt would have fazed me as a child if I have seen it as a child. I'm just realising this is one of those episodes, like the last episode we watched. It's another go to sleep or else episode. Anyways, the kid goes on to say that he needs his precious sleep and doesn't want it stolen from him.
You can't steal my sleep. It's mine.
And then Mr. Peeler threatens the poor child.
If you want to stay awake all night, I's here to make sure you does.
I don't even know why I'm calling him a poor child here because I was just roasting him earlier on, saying that he's a little bollocks. Mr. Peeler says that he's going to make sure that the kid stays up all night. What a sadistic bastard. But like, I don't even care. This kid is a bastard as well. And that's the kid's response to what Mr. Peeler said. I don't think we even needed that exaggerated close-up. That's the scariest bloody thing about this episode. Anyways, your man flies out of the window with butterflies stuck to him or whatever the hell, I don't even know. And then it's revealed that the kid can never sleep again. He can't get a wink of sleep every night. That is horrific, man. Oh yeah, by the way, Mr. Grizzly has a pet spider called Spindleshanks, who, by the way, he's using as an eyelash here. Right. Interesting. Well, anyways, lads and ladies, that was Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. What's funny is that this show actually feels like one of those old VTech games. You know, like Winnie the Pooh and what was the other one? They'll be on screen anyways. You think you're in it for the story, but actually it's giving you an education the entire time. It's the same premise, to be fair. But as a whole, I reckon the showrunners just literally wanted to make something gruesome, possibly inspired by Goosebumps. That's a bold claim from me, but I think so. But disguised it as a way to teach kids lessons, moral lessons, to improve their behaviour. But it seems to me they just wanted to traumatise kids And that's it. I love it though. It's all love from me. I enjoyed this show as a kid. I remember running home to watch it, waking up at 8 a.m. to watch it. I loved it. Oddly, I still enjoy the episodes. And I shouldn't, because I'm a grown man, like. Anyways, make sure to subscribe if you want me to cover more episodes from Grizzly Tales, or even cover other kids' horror shows, like Goosebumps. Stay tuned anyways, and I might cover those if you subscribe. Right, thanks for watching. That was my breakdown of this show, of the 2 scariest episodes that I could find. And I'll see all of you gentlemen and gentlewomen in the next video. Cheers, guys!